How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Well, today in the shop I have an unboxing. The unboxing today is I've been looking around for the last little while to get a pneumatic brad nailer. So I think I found a pretty good deal on some brad nailers from Home Depot. And we're going to go have a look at those right now and try to make a decision whether or not it's a good product or not. Okay folks, here's what I ended up getting. It's an Anvil 3-piece set of brad nailers. These are all 18 gauge, so there's an up to I think 2-inch or maybe 1.5 inch brad nailer. There's a crown stapler, and then there's a pin driver. 3 of them. I got them at Home Depot. I paid $99 for the kit. Now, and this was not on special, that was just a regular price. And I'd also like to say that I'm not affiliated with Home Depot, I'm not affiliated with Anvil. This is just an old guy from the woods going into the city and getting wooed by flashy box and prices. So I was looking at the rigid pneumatic nailer, and it was $99 for a nailer that was the same characteristics as this brad nailer. I think up to 2-inch 18 gauge brads, and just brads, and it was $99. And then when I saw this one, I said, hey, I get 3 shots here for the same price. And I don't use pneumatic tools a lot. I'm just getting into pneumatic tools for woodworking, so I thought I'm going to give this a try. It's from offshore. It may not be the best quality, but I'm going to give it a hook. And for my first foray into pneumatic tooling, I think maybe this would be the way to go. Okay, of course, in any box, there's cardboard. Oh, and there's instructions. So while I have the instructions out, I just want to look through here quick and tell you the specifics. It's an 18 gauge 2-inch brad nailer. It's an 18 gauge 1 5/8 narrow crown stapler, and it's a 23 gauge 1-inch micro pin nailer. Okay, for the 18 gauge 2-inch brad nailer, it's a 1/4 inch NPT inlet to it. Its air consumption is 5.87 standard cubic feet per minute with 100 fasteners per minute at 90 psi. The minimum pressure, or the pressure range it'll work, is 60 to 100 psi, and the pin size goes anywhere from 5/8 to 2 inches. So that's good. And much the same for the stapler and the pin nailer. I have a piece of 1-inch hardwood. I have a piece of 2-inch hemlock. I have a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And I have a piece of 1/4 inch hardboard with like a melamine finish on it. The reason I decided to use this is because oftentimes when you're making, I don't know, drawer furniture or something like that, you have maybe some pre-finished 1/4 inch stock that you want to put in place, and you have to drive your pins through that, so I want to make sure that it dries through them okay. And because I already had an 18 gauge pin driver, I have some stock here. These are 1.5 inch brads, and in my electric pin nailer, these used to jam up a lot, so we're going to try those. So this is the brad nailer here. So you just pull the magazine back. Now I haven't read any instructions about these, so I'm just taking them out of the box and going with it. So you put these, I'm assuming, you set those in there like that. And there's different ridges in the magazine to capture the heads on these brads. So this magazine will cover these nails, so you won't see how many nails are left. These red indicators here, they go away, so when you start to get low, these red indicators will show up to tell you that you're almost out of brads. So that's good to know. So that goes in there. There's also an adjustment up here to make sure that you don't blow the air right in your face. It seems hard to turn, but anyways, that's okay. The air is set at 110 psi, but it says that should be good for this gun. So we plug her in. Now my quick connect is not the best quality, so this is leaking a little. But anyway, we're ready to go. So my first nail, I'm going to put in this piece of hemlock. So you push down on it, pull the trigger. That hardly gave any kick at all. And the nail is not sunk in all the way. So that means I have to adjust. Boys, oh boys, I don't like that quick connect. So that means I have to adjust this impact. I don't know which way to adjust it. We'll turn it counterclockwise and see what happens. So that was worse. So we'll turn it clockwise now. That one sunk in pretty good. Wait till I just show you. This was the first one that I shot, and it was a little bit proud of the surface, so I hit that with my hammer to drive it in. Then I made an adjustment, and then that was the second one, and that adjustment was worse. And if you can see there, hard to get her lined up right, but that's, I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch or so above the surface. And then I made some adjustments, and this is the third one, and the third one is set below the surface by about a 1/16 of an inch. And those are 1.5 inch brads. So I think that'd be all right. I think you'll be able to make some adjustments to make those come flush with whatever you're nailing together. Okay, so that was with 1.5 inch brads. So I'm going to take those out, and I have some 3/4 brads here. There's a little tiny clip here of 3/4 ones, so I'll set those in. Set them at the bottom. There's a nice groove that they set in. And once more with my hemlock block. So there's my 3/4 inch brad that I just shot. It's well below the surface, but you know what? It's not that much below the surface, not that much more below the surface than what the 1.5 inch brad was, so that's pretty good. Alright, next test. Here's a piece of hardwood. I'm not sure what kind of hardwood this is. It came on an old piece of furniture, so it's probably not quality hardwood, but it's decent, I'd say. It's hard anyways. And I'm going to put the 1.5 inch brads in it. I have to get new quick connects, boys, because these ones leak good. 1.5 inch. So with the leak on that, as bad as it was, that drove that in just about perfect, just as nice as anything. Okay, so now I want to try my 3/4 inch brads, and I'm going to shoot them into this 3/4 inch plywood with some hardboard on top of it. I must say the guns, they're balanced nice, eh? They're nice weight to them, they're not right heavy. I'm thinking if you're doing work above your head, it wouldn't be a big deal, but I'm also used to having the electric one, which was quite heavy because it had all the copper wire on the head of it. Now I changed my connector. Oh, it still leaks. Not as bad though. Okay, here we go. So that plugged in there pretty good. So there's the 3/4 inch brad, and they're just below the surface of this hardboard into the plywood. I like it. Anvil, I never heard of that name before, so I don't know if they're going to be good or bad or how they're going to stand up. But anyways, right out of the box, they're pretty nice. So I'm going to open up the sample of staples that they sent me and see how my crown stapler works. So, to load it up, and again, I never read any instructions, so I'm just kind of figuring how this will go. I think we must sit in over there. Yeah, there, that seems to be pretty good. It's got a bigger foot on it, but I think that's because we're trying to drive staples here. So I've never driven staples before, so let's try this. First of all, just to check the safeties, I'm not pushing down on anything there, so pulling the trigger does nothing. So when we set this down on the workpiece, it drove that staple in right flush with the surface. Pretty good there, and I felt nothing in the gun, just like click, was done. Let's see what it's like here in the hardwood. Same thing, although the staple never got seated quite as deep as it did in the hemlock. And once again, like I drove 1, 2, 3 staples with it. Works great. Out of the box it works great. Alright, now I want to use this pin gun. I've never ever used the pins before. I don't even know what they look like. But I just get this out. There's the 1.5" nails, the staples, and look at the pins. They even look coppery. They look expensive. So let's put these in here. Measurements on the side of it. This says inch. So they just slide in the channel here in the magazine. So that goes in there. My magazine closes. I'm in 1 inch. And let's just see what this looks like. So again, the gun feels nice. So that shoots the pins in. And those little pins are 23 gauge. They're very fine. They go right in the wood and the top's buried. Okay then, to sum up, what do I think of these Anvil pin nailers? I like them. But like first time out of the box, you know, of course it's going to work. If it doesn't work, you know that you got garbage. But these do work. They feel nice in the hand. They're well balanced. The safety seems to be pretty good on them. You know, they'll only fire when the safety is compressed. They're not right heavy. I'm thinking for work above your head, they'd be handy for that. They're slender, so like if you want to get, like if you're toenailing something, you should be able to get in there pretty good. They drove the staples very well, and the brads as well, very well, into the hardwood and to the softwood and to my hardboard masonite that I had with a melamine finish on it. The staples went in good. I don't know how much, I never ever used staples before, so I don't know what I would use them for, but you know, for, I don't know, nailing the back on a cabinet or something, pound some staples in it, that'd be a great idea. And these little pin nails, I think just for holding something together while the glue sets up, I think that would be ideal for that. The one thing I don't like about them right off the bat, and I never experienced anything yet to warrant my dislike, but if there's ever a jam up, you have to take this shoe off the front here, and I think that would be an involved job, and I'm not sure what you get into once you open that up. So that might be an issue. One other, I guess, downside would be the electric one is great because it's so portable. Like I use it in the camp. When I put pine tongue and groove boards all through the camp, and I use my electric brad nailer to nail those up. Now if I have to do a similar job, putting finish on, putting ground moldings up, or putting moldings around the baseboards or something like that, if I want to use these guns, that means I have to take my compressor, roll that to the camp, plug that into a good 15 amp source, and then run an air line through a window, through a door, something like that into the camp. So if it's going to be work like this done in the winter, that could be a big drawback of having to get an air supply for these guns at the camp. But here in the shop, I have no problems, especially since I just put my air outlets in. It's going to be very, very handy to grab one of these guns to help making a wood project. So there you go. But other than that, I think this is a pretty good deal. 3 guns for the price of 1 rigid gun. You know, like I say, as an entry into pneumatic tooling for a wood shop, I don't know how you can go wrong with this. Would I buy these again? So far, yes. I have nothing bad to say about them, but after all, they are just out of the box. I mean, the paint's barely dry on them. So anyway, let me know what you think about these guns. Do you think they're going to be decent, or do you think I got rooked? Guy from the country going to the city, getting dazzled by big deals. So there's the unboxing of the Anvil air gun set. I think I'm going to like it. But bear in mind, I'm not a heavy user of air tools, so if this system or set is not like at rigid tool quality, I don't think that's going to be a big issue for me in my shop the way I use it. It might be for you, so think about that before you go make that purchase. But if you're just looking for a set of air nailers that you know that you're going to use periodically in the shop on a few little wood projects, I don't think you can go wrong here. I think this is a good deal. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm way off base with this idea, or is this a good entry-level set of air nailers? I'd appreciate it if you did. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks a lot for dropping by. I sure appreciate it. And for my regular visitors, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just can't thank you enough for all that you do for my channel. In the meantime, everybody, have a safe and healthy week and enjoy the nice summer weather. We'll talk to you.